Life is full of surprises, but some moments leave us utterly speechless, shaking our heads in disbelief, trying to piece together what just happened. That's exactly what unfolded one night when my stepson David came into my room while I was fast asleep. To this day, I can't recount the incident without a mix of shock, bewilderment, and an odd sense of clarity about how life sometimes delivers its strangest lessons. David had always been a curious soul. At 14, he was at that age where the world seemed like a puzzle waiting to be solved. He was inquisitive, mischievous, and often unpredictable, a combination that kept me on my toes since becoming his stepmother 2 years ago. Despite our ups and downs, I'd grown to care for him deeply. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened on that fateful night. It was a calm evening, the kind where you slip into bed feeling the weight of the day melt away. I remember falling asleep quickly, lulled by the faint hum of the air conditioner and the comforting cocoon of my blankets. Little did I know that my peaceful slumber was about to be interrupted in the most unexpected way. Sometime in the middle of the night, though I couldn't tell you the exact hour, I felt a presence in the room. You know that eerie sensation when you just know someone is nearby, even before you open your eyes? That's what roused me from sleep. At first, I thought it might be my husband getting up for a glass of water or checking on something. But as my eyes adjusted to the dim light filtering in from the hallway, I realized it wasn't him. It was David. Standing at the foot of my bed, he looked like a shadowy figure with an air of determination. My heart skipped a beat. Why was he here? Was something wrong? Before I could fully wake up or ask him what he was doing, he made his move. David leaned over me and, brace yourself, placed a sticky note squarely on my forehead. Yes, you read that right. A sticky note. In my groggy state, I was utterly confused. David? I croaked, trying to sit up and make sense of what was happening. He didn't say a word. Instead, he turned around and walked out of the room as if nothing out of the ordinary had occurred. For a moment, I just sat there, blinking in disbelief. Did I dream that? Was this some sort of bizarre sleepwalking incident? My curiosity got the better of me, and I peeled the sticky note off my forehead to read it. Scrawled in David's unmistakable handwriting were 3 simple words: check the fridge. Now, let me pause here to say that this was not the kind of cryptic message you want to receive in the middle of the night. My mind raced with possibilities. Was this a prank? A warning? A plea for help? The tone of those 3 words was impossible to decipher, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something strange was afoot. Despite my hesitation, I swung my legs over the side of the bed and padded down the hallway toward the kitchen. The house was eerily quiet, save for the faint creaks of the wooden floor beneath my feet. When I reached the fridge, I hesitated for a moment before opening it, half expecting to find something alarming inside. What I found was bananas. Not literal bananas, though that would have been odd enough, but a scene so absurd it could only have been orchestrated by David's quirky imagination. Inside the fridge were half a dozen eggs, each one carefully decorated with tiny faces drawn in marker. Some were smiling, others had exaggerated frowns or comically wide eyes. One even wore a tiny paper hat. Next to this peculiar egg display was a note taped to a carton of milk. It read, "Meet Egbert and friends. They're here to make you smile." I couldn't help it, I laughed out loud. The sheer ridiculousness of it all caught me off guard in the best possible way. Here I was, standing in my kitchen at some ungodly hour, staring at a fridge full of egg people that my stepson had apparently created for no other reason than to surprise me. The next morning, over breakfast, I brought it up with David. "So, care to explain last night?" I asked, raising an eyebrow, but unable to hide my amused smile. He shrugged nonchalantly, though there was a glimmer of mischief in his eyes. "You seemed stressed yesterday," he said simply. "I thought you could use a laugh." And just like that, everything clicked. David's late-night antics weren't random or meaningless, they were his way of showing he cared in his own unique way. As someone who often struggled to express his emotions verbally, this was his version of saying, "I see you. I care about you." That night marked a turning point in our relationship, It reminded me that connection doesn't always come in predictable forms. Sometimes it's a heartfelt conversation, other times, it's a fridge full of eggs with faces. What mattered was that David had gone out of his way to bring a little joy into my life, and in doing so, he taught me an important lesson about finding humor and love in unexpected places. To this day, we still laugh about Egbert and friends. It's become one of those family stories we'll probably tell for years to come, proof that even the most surprising moments can leave a lasting impact on our hearts. So if you ever find yourself jolted awake by something out of the ordinary, don't be too quick to dismiss it as nonsense. You never know, it might just be someone's way of saying they care. And who knows? You might even end up with a fridge full of egg friends to brighten your day.